And what was most difficult for you?
Most difficult for me is putting up with all the what I consider nonsense that happens between us and the bureaucracy and getting organized, getting everybody to the meeting, all the planning, the time factors that we're our busy lives and working all out, all that sort of thing. But once you're there and once you're into it, it is magic.
Most challenging. Well, I've been in an RC that had a lot of people, and personally, I felt like I wanted to share or to reflect or observe and say something, but because there were so many people in the circle, I felt inhibited. This isn't this wasn't my challenge, but I observed this. I observed yeah, some resistance from some of the working groups that um, and I don't understand that. I mean, this is a place of experimentation. It's a tool. It's not meant to be like the magic bullet, or it's just but try. So I really hope that that will change, because again, it didn't challenge me directly, but I saw that, and I guess I was challenged by my judgment of that. They're like, "Okay, just give it a try."
I mean, a small way of saying is me, is what's inside me, is the way I see, the way I react, and the way I judge and jump into things. In the longer version of it, it's understanding the incredible layers of human nature. That it's not just black, white, or gray, but there is grayish, blackish, whitish gray, whitish black. And having the humility to understand that there is no such thing called a solution. There is only a slow untying of knots, and hopefully bringing people closer even through the untying of the knots, rather than walking away from the knot itself.
I felt that it was a really powerful process. I thought that it could really bring things to Auroville, but they would keep people missing, and that I felt was one of the reasons why it didn't go as much as it could. So one of the parties, let's say, was sort of not completely there. So that was unfortunate. But the other really key players were not there either, which is the different groups. And I actually talked to them about in one of the meetings, and I said, "It's so sad that you were not part of those meetings." So they said they were meetinged out, and um, but I really felt that that was a huge limitation. That when there are people who are responsible for the problem, because I continue to believe that this whole issue between the youth hive and the pump house is created by a certain method and attitude towards planning, which doesn't have anything to do with actually either of those two parties. And this is where I felt the limitation of this process, because it's much larger. That's a much larger issue. So if we treat something solely as a conflict, when the reason for that conflict is much larger, uh, what do we do? It's like the RC process is a bit too new to deal with the systemic thing, because that's systemic.
And I'm a bit disappointed about the speed in which it develops in Oroville, because I don't see anything better than RC at the moment.
Most difficult was having the people you have the conflict with in front of you. It's not easy, and also reflecting other people is really not easy, because you really have to listen at what they say. But I learned a lot in that process.
And I was called to another live circle, and this one I did not attend. I did not feel safe. I was not ready to trust that the process would hold me. It's because I had so much pain in that situation.
Right. Well, the challenging part was definitely coming to a conclusion to a problem. Um, so, and also, like, you have to be very honest and speak the truth, which was challenging, I would say. I think for most of them, but I tried my best to speak out in front of others, what I had in my heart.